Hello everyone, today we'll discuss about the April month current affairs 2024. Okay, let us start. Recently, a international organization for migration released a report called A Decade of Documenting Migrant Death. The report was released on completion of 10 years of IOM's Missing Migrant Project. This Missing Migrant Project have been launched in 2014 to document deaths and disappearance of the people in migration process towards the international destination. This IOM, International Organization for Migration, was established in 1951. It is a leading intergovernmental organization in the field of migration. It's headquartered in Geneva, Switzerland, and it consists of 175 member states, even including the India. We'll see the key findings of this report. More than 1 in 3 of migrants whose country origin could be identified comes from the countries in conflict. And the second point is more than 2/3 of those whose death were documented through the IOMS MMP are unidentified. And major causes of death is drowning, vehicle accidents, suffocation due to the fuel inhalation, inadequate shelter and health care, etc. And the last one, factors behind this migrations are urbanization, marriage, economic disparities, political instability, impacts of climate changes. Next we'll see a tissue culture lab to generate sapling of threatened or a rare native Delhi trees. It will be set up at the Asula Bhati Wildlife Sanctuary. The species identified here are Hengot, Khaya, Bistand, Siri, Palash, etc. We'll see about this plant tissue culture. It is the cultivation of undifferentiated plant cells, tissue or organs on a synthetic media under an aseptic environment which is suitable for the controlled physical conditions. And it is based upon the totipotency characteristic of the plant cell. This totipotency is the ability of a vegetative cell to divide and differentiate into any type of specialized cell. We'll see the applications of this plant tissue culture to obtain the disease-free plants and to obtain rapid multiplication of plants and large-scale fabrication of artificial seeds. Next we'll see scientists discover the evidence of ozone on Jupiter's moon Callisto. The discovery came into light while the researchers were investigating the chemical evolution of sulfur dioxide on Jupiter moon with the ultraviolet radiation. This revealed the traces of the formation of O3 on the Callisto. We'll see about this O3. It is formed of the 3 oxygen atoms. It is an unstable compound and it can be easily formed and easily broken down. This O3 layer in stratosphere act as an invisible shield and protects from the UV radiation from the sun. We'll see about the Callisto. It was discovered by the Galileo Galilei. Callisto is a Jupiter's second largest moon. Callisto is a second largest moon of the Jupiter and third largest moon in solar system. Jupiter has totally 95 officially recognized moons, which larger in Ganymede. In these moons, Ganymede is the largest one and it is the most heavily cratered object in our solar system. Next we'll see the topic Prime Minister attends the commemoration ceremony of 90 years of the RBI. We'll see briefly about the RBI. The Royal Commission on Indian Currency 1926, Hilton Young Commission recommended the establishment of RBI. Okay, RBI came into existence on the recommendation of Hilton Young Commission. It was established in 1935 under the Reserve Bank of India Act 1934 with the Sir Osborne Smith as its first governor, and it was nationalized in 1949. RBI was nationalized in 1949. We'll see the functions of RBI. It acts as a monetary authority and it regulates the supervisor of financial system to maintain public confidence, and it issue the currency to supply the currency notes and coins. It acts as a regulator and supervisor of the payment and settlement systems, and it is a banker to the government and other banks. Okay, next we'll see. Recently, an artificial sun set the new record of 48-second long operation at the 100 million degrees. Okay, Korea superconducting tokamak advanced research fusion the reactor reached the temperature 7 times that of sun core in latest advancement of the nuclear fission. We'll see about this Korea superconducting tokamak advanced research. It also maintained the high confinement mode H mode for over 100 seconds, and it is a plasma, and a plasma is a hot charged gas made up of positive ions, and H mode is a stable plasma state and free moving electrons with the unique properties distinct from solids, liquid, gases. Okay, next we'll see one vehicle, one FASTag. National Highways Authority of India norms of one vehicle, one FASTag has come into force. This one vehicle, one FASTag, it aims to discourage use of single FASTag for multiple vehicles. It discourages the use of single FASTag for multiple vehicles or linking multiple FASTags to a particular vehicle, and this will enhance the efficiency of electronic toll collection system, and it provides a seamless movement at toll plazas. We'll see about this FASTag. It's a device that employs a radio frequency identification technology for making toll payments directly while vehicle is in motion, and it is a flagship program of Ministry Road Transport and Highways and NHAIs. Next we'll see India's coal-line lignite production hits all-time high of over 1 billion ton for this financial year 2023 to 2024. Coal-line lignite this production has grown by more than 70% over the last 10 years. Coal-line lignite production has grown over by more than 70% over the last 10 years. We'll see the current status of this coal sector in India. See, in India, it has 5th largest geological reservoir of the coal and 2nd largest consumer of the coal across the world. India has the 5th largest reservoir of the coal and 2nd largest consumer of the coal across the world. On the production, Coal India Limited (CIL) is the largest producer of coal in India. India imported 217.75 million tons of the coal in 2023 to 24. It is dominated by the non-coking coal, approximately 77% of the total imports. Next we'll see recently the International Telecommunication Union and World Bank have been jointly released the report called Measuring the Emissions and Energy Footprint of the ICT Sector Implication for Climate Action report. It presents the energy and emission profile of the information and communication technology sector, and it assesses the 30 highest emitting countries including India for telecommunication. We'll see the highlights of this report. A rapid expansion of the digitalization is requiring more energy. A rapid expansion of digitalization is requiring the more energy, and it is resulting in greenhouse gases. At least 1.7% of global emission stem from the ICT sector, and 1/3 of the world's population remain unconnected to the internet connecting, whom will drive emission ever higher. And there is a lack of comprehensive data on country-based ICT emissions, and France is the only country where regulator complies telecommunication sector emissions. Next we'll see Taiwan rocked by the earthquake of magnitude 7.4, biggest in 25 years. See, the quake occurred in result of rivers faulting near boundary between the Eurasia and Philippine sea plates. This reverse faulting is a split between two sections of a rock in earth crust caused by the compressional forces. Notably, Taiwan is prone to earthquake as it lies along the Pacific Ring of Fire or a circum-Pacific belt. This ring of fire is a horseshoe-shaped string of volcanoes and sites of seismic activity around the edge of Pacific Ocean. Ring of fire is a horseshoe-shaped string of volcanoes and sites of seismic activity around the edge of Pacific Ocean. It is 90% of all the earthquakes occur along the ring of fire. See, 90% of all earthquake occurs along this ring of fire, and it has 75% of all active volcanoes on the earth. The result of plate tectonics, as it traces the meeting points of numerous tectonic plates. Okay, next we'll see Pratyush Radio Telescope. Researchers from Bangalore Raman Research Institute (RRI) have started work on Pratyush. Pratyush is currently funded for pre-project studies by ISRO. Pratyush is a future space radio telescope that will be placed in lunar orbit. We'll see the objective of this Pratyush. It revealing the transformation of the universe after the Big Bang and determining when the first stars formed, their nature, color of the light emitted. We'll see what are the advantages of this Pratyush. It is a ground-based experiment including SARS, phase limitations such as radio frequency interface and atmosphere contaminants, which will be mitigated through a space-based telescope. Next we'll see SARAH. Recently, World Health Organization unveils the Digital Health Promoter Prototype SARAH, hastening the generative artificial intelligence for public health. We'll see about this SARAH. It is a smart AI resource assistant for health, which uses new language models and cutting-edge technology. It can also provide information across the major health topics including the healthy habits, mental health. Okay, and this SARAH aims to provide an additional tool for people to realize their rights to health. It provides an additional tool for people to realize their rights to health. It also supports the people in developing better understanding of risk factors for some leading causes of death in world. For For example, cancer, heart disease, lung disease and diabetes. Okay, next we'll see IMD warns of more tornadoes in northern Bengal. IMD warns of more tornadoes in northern Bengal. In recent years, many tornadoes have been formed across the India. A warming Bay of Bengal, heated land and strange wind patterns could be a reason behind this. A tornado is a land-based vertical column of violently rotating air. It is a violently rotating air that extends from thunderstorm to ground. Okay, and it can have wind speeds in the range of 105 to 322 km per hour, and they develop from the severe thunderstorm in a warm, moist, unstable air along and ahead of the cold fronts. Thunderstorms are the several local storms associated with the thunder, lightning, heavy rain, hail and strong winds. And these are the most common in US, Argentina, Bangladesh. Tornadoes are the most common in US, Argentina, Bangladesh. In India, they are reported in eastern states of the West Bengal, Odisha and Jharkhand. During the pre-monsoon period, India is known for the formation of tropical cyclones. India is known for the formation of tropical cyclones. Next we'll see Commonwealth Games. Singapore rules out hosting the Commonwealth 2026. Singapore is hosting the Commonwealth Games of 2026. This Commonwealth Games takes place every 4 years once, and the member of Commonwealth nations along the overseas territories, island states also participates in this game, and it is managed by the Commonwealth Games Federation based on the London, which is in England, earlier known as British Empire Games, and they were held for first time in Canada 1930. These Commonwealth nations members are the countries which were formed by the British, and presently other members can also join it. India is also a member of Commonwealth. Next we'll see the topic synchronizing the energy transitions towards a possible net zero for India, affordable clean energy for all AII report. See, this report was launched by the Office of the Principal Scientific Advisor to the Government of India. And next one, India's first homegrown gene therapy. India's first homegrown gene therapy, CAR cell therapy for cancer launched by the Preside. It is developed through the collaboration between Indian Institute of Technology Bombay and Tata Memorial Hospital and ImmunoAct. We'll see about this chimeric antigen receptor cell therapy, that is CAR cell therapy. Chimeric antigen receptor cell therapy. It modifies immunocells, specifically T cells. It modifies the immunocells and specifically a T cells by turning them into potent cancer fighters known as CAR cells. Recently, Agni Prime, the new generation ballistic missile flight tested successfully, and it was conducted by Strategic Force Command along with the Defense Research DRDO from the Abdul Kalam Island. This Agni Prime is a two-stage canister solid propellant ballistic missile, and with a maximum range of 1000 to 2000 km. And it is a nuclear capable advanced variant of Agni class of missiles, and it is lighter than all other earlier Agni series of the missiles, and it will be guided by the inertial navigation systems INS based on the advanced ring laser gyroscopes. And it is the first of new generation of missiles after end of the integrated guided missiles development program. See, this Agni Prime is a two-stage canister solid propellant ballistic missile, and it has a maximum range of 1000 to 2000 km, and it is a nuclear capable advanced variant Agni class of missiles, and it's lighter other than Agni series, and it's the first new generation of the missile after end of this integrated guided missiles. Okay, next we'll see, recently scientists discovered the reason behind the cleanest air in the southern ocean region. This clean air refers to the low levels of aerosols in the atmosphere, and aerosol is the suspension of fine solid particles or liquid droplets in the air. But we'll see the reasons for this low level aerosols in southern ocean region. Reduced human activity in that region. In southern ocean, there is a reduced human activity in that region, resulting the minimal emission and fossil fuel usage. And phytoplankton that are a source of the airborne sulfate particles are fewer in the winter, resulting the fewer sulfate particles during the winter. Fewer sulfate particles during the winter, and there is reduced human activity in that region. These are the two reasons for low level aerosols in the southern ocean. And role of clouds and rain. Honeycomb structured clouds play a crucial role in the regions of climate. Open honeycomb clouds allow the sunlight to pass and tend to produce more intense sporadic rainfall, which washes all the aerosols out. This is also one of the reasons to cleanest air in the southern ocean region. Next we'll see Global Leaders Group on Antimicrobial Resistance released the report called Towards Specific Commitments and Action in the Response to AMR. This report aims to inform outcomes of the 2024 United Nations General Assembly high-level meeting on AMR to be held in September 2024. The recommendation of this report is this recommendation for consideration by UNGA meeting on AMR. This convened the independent panel on evidence for action against the antimicrobial resistance by 2024 One Health context and expansion of existing financing instruments such as Green Climate Fund, Global Environment Facility to include the AMR, and quadripartite organization FAO, UNEP, WHO, etc. should urgently update the 2015 Global Action Plan on AMR to ensure the One Health response. Report quality assured AMR surveillance data through the global surveillance systems. That's all. Next we'll see European Union and India launched the expression of interest for electric vehicle battery recycling the startups. Okay, it took place under India EU Trade and Technology Council, first announced by the European Union Commission and India in 2022. It was established in 2023. This Trade and Technology Council, it is a key forum to deepen the strategic partnership and trade and technology. India EU initiative for the EV startups aims to enhance the cooperation between European Union and India. We'll see the significance of this EU battery recycling. It recovers non-renewable materials such as lithium, nickel, zinc, etc. and it is a environmental protection through the waste minimization and it also reduces the cost of new batteries by promoting the circular economy by recycling and achieving recovery targets of 90% by 2026 to 2027 under the battery waste management rules 2022. And battery recycling in India is expected to reach the $300 billion during the 2017 to 2030. In small and medium sized enterprises, SMEs and startups in clean and green technology sector. Next we'll see World Economic Forum report title called Space, the $1.8 trillion opportunity for the global economic growth released. We'll see this key findings of this report. Space economy is expected to reach the $1.8 trillion by 2035 from $630 billion in 2023. The space impact will increasingly go beyond the space itself and benefits to non-traditional players such as ride-hailing apps. There are 5 industries will generate more than 60% of this increase in space economy by 2035. Those are supply chain and transportation, food and beverage, and state-sponsored defense, retail, consumer goods and lifestyle, and digital communication. The space return on investment will be more than financial, that is mitigating the world challenges such as disaster warning and improved humanitarian response. You should remember the report is released by which agency, like which international agency. That is important. Okay, next we'll see Harun Research Institute released the Global Unicorn Index 2024. The Global Unicorn Index 2024 is ranking the world's startups founded in 2000s. In 2023, India had 67 unicorn startups, placed thirdly in global. Okay. Next, USA led with 703 unicorns, followed by China with 340. India lacks unicorns in aerospace. India lacks in unicorns aerospace and space tech sector. Unicorns means these are the privately held venture capital backed startups that have reached the value of $1 billion. For example, Swiggy, Sports, Platform. These are the unicorns. Next we'll see geospatial modeling and mapping of soil erosion in India, study published by the IIT Delhi. See, this study provides the comprehensive national scale assessment of soil erosion and sediment yield mapping over the India and to enable the planning and implementation of soil conservation strategies. And the report 2024 released by the United Nations Department of Economic and Soil Affairs. Next, Global Trade Outlook and Statistics report was released by the World Trade Organization, WTO. Next, Plastic Overshoot Day 2024 report released by the Earth Action. Plastic Overshoot report released by the Earth Action. And Corporate Climate Responsibility Monitor report released by the New Climate Institute collaboration with the Carbon Market Watch, and ensuring the safety and health at work in changing the climate released by the ILO. This ILO released the ensuring safety and health at work in changing climate. Next we'll see Indian expatriate could become the first Indian space tourist. Blue Origin's American space startup NS-25 mission will take 6 passengers to the space tourism. It will take the 6 passengers to the space tourism this space tourism to traveling into space for recreational purpose. Okay, again we have three types of space tourism. Suborbital space flighting, that is altitude of 100 km, referred as common line. And second one, orbital space flights, altitude over 400 km. And the third one, lunar space tourism, full trips to moon. Next we'll see the topic, Indian Institute of Science designed a novel hydrogen to remove the microplastics from the water. Remove the microplastics from the water. This hydrogen has a unique intertwined polymer network that can bind the plastics and degrade them using the ultraviolet radiation. See this hydrogen intertwined polymer network that bind the microplastics and that will degrade them using the UV light radiation. And it consists of three different polymer layers: chiton, polyvinyl alcohol and polynylon. These polymers are combined with the nanoclusters. The nanoclusters act as the catalyst that can use the UV light for degradation. Nanoclusters use the UV light for degradation, and it showed the high efficiency during the research. And these microplastics are the small plastic fragments, typically less than 5 millimeters long. World's first orbiter that allows the smartphones to make direct satellite calls. Recently, Chinese scientists have developed the first satellite series Thankton capable of enabling the smartphone calls without the need for ground-based infrastructure such as base transceiver station or cellular towers. This Chinese satellite communication technology, in this Thankton first series of satellite consists of 3 satellites based in geosynchronous orbiter at an altitude of approximately 36,000 km, covering entire Asia Pacific region from Middle East to the Pacific Ocean. And the geosynchronous orbit is a special position high above the Earth that allows an object to keep pace with the rotation of our planet. In 2023, Hawaii Technology released the world's first smartphone that supported the satellite calls by directly connecting to the Thankton satellites. Okay, next we'll see India and Mauritius signed a protocol amending the Double Taxation Avoidance Agreement (DTAA). This amendment includes the principal purpose test to avail the tax benefits under the DTA to plug the abuse of treaty for the tax evasion and avoidance. This is agreement between the two countries or two territories with an objective to avoid the double taxation on same declared asset in two different countries. Next we'll see South Korean scientists developed the sodium ion battery that can be charged in seconds. This technology is a high power hybrid sodium iron battery capable of rapid charging, and it is considered as an cheaper and potentially more feasible source of energy than the lithium ion batteries. Next we'll see Central Board of Direct Taxes signed a record of 125 advance pricing agreement in financial year 2023 to 2024. This APA is an agreement between the tax authority and any person, that is a taxpayer, which determines the in advance arm's length price or specifies the manner of the determination of arm's length price in relation to the international transaction. Okay, it is an agreement between the tax authority and any person or taxpayer. This arm's length price refers to the deal in which parties act independently without one party influencing the other. It acts as independent. And we'll see the features of this act. It's signed under the Income Tax Act 1961, and this is voluntary in nature, and it is maximum 5 years of duration. Further, it can be extended for 4 more years proceedings years. Next, we'll see United Nations Population Funds UNFPA released the State of the World Population 2024 report. The report is titled Interwoven Lives, Threads of Hope, Ending the Inequalities in Sexual and Reproduction Health and Rights. The Women's SRHR includes the right to be free from torture, right to health, privacy, education, life, and prohibition of discrimination. India leads globally with an estimated population of 144.17 crore, followed by China. China has 142.5 crores. Next, we'll see indigenous technology cruise missile successfully flight tested by the DRDO from the integrated test range Chandipur on eastern coast. This indigenous technology cruise missile is developed by the Aeronautical Development Establishment of DRDO, and it is a long range subsonic cruise missile. Okay, it's a long range subsonic cruise missile powered by an indigenous propulsion system, and this propulsion system is developed by the Gas Turbine Research Establishment. These cruise missiles are the unmanned vehicle that remain within the atmosphere and can fly as low as few meters off the ground. And subsonic cruise missiles flies at speed lesser than that of the sound, around 0.8 Mach. Next, we'll see Survival International Report highlights the 6 UNESCO World Heritage Sites on indigenous peoples' land. Those sites are Gorongor Conservation Area, Kahuzi Biag National Park, Ozal Kokua National Park, Kiang Krachan Forest Complex, Kazirang National Park, and Chitwan National Park. These 6 sites have been included to the UNESCO. Next, we'll see Sweden becomes the 38th country to join the Artemis Accord. We'll see what is this Artemis Accord. It was established in 2020 by the NASA in the coordination with the US Department of State together with 7 other founding member nations. This Artemis Accords grounded in Outer Space Treaty of 1967. These are the non-binding set of principles designed to guide the civil space exploration and use in 21st century. It represents the multilateral leadership in civil space diplomacy and bring together diverse set of nations with a shared vision, peaceful space operation. India is also signatory to this Artemis Accord. Accords. Next, we'll see Navchetana, the National Framework for Early Childhood Simulation, released. It aims to fill the conceptual, practical gaps in understanding and implementation care of and simulation from the birth until the first 3 years of the child growth. See, this child simulation, it involves the intentional efforts to activate the child's early development. At this age, baby's brain is twice as active as an adult's brain. See, this baby brain is active, twice as active as an adult brain, and patterns of thinking and responding are established. At birth, only 25% of the eventual brain is formed. See, during the birth, 25% of the brain is formed, and the remaining 75% develops in the first 3 years of the child's life. So that's why the early childhood care is important. That's why this framework has been released. Okay, next we'll see Sweden becomes the 30th country to join the Accords. Okay, it's over. Next we'll see the Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India celebrated the 25th anniversary. Okay, Indian Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India, IRDI, celebrating the 25th anniversary. It is formed on the Malhotra Committee. Okay, the insurance is formed on the recommendation of Malhotra Committee. It's constituted as an autonomous body in 1999 and it incorporated as statutory body in 2000. Earlier it was autonomous body, later it was converted into statutory body in 2000 under the Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority Act 1999. The objectives of this IRDAI: speedy and orderly growth of insurance industry, speedy settlements, genuine claims, and effective grievance redressal mechanism. And this insurance comes under the Ministry of Finance. We'll see the duties and responsibilities of this IRDAI. It certifies the insurance companies and it protects the interest of policyholders. It protects the interest of policyholders and adjudication of disputes. Next, we'll see World Health Organization WHO launched the Patient Safety Rights Charter at a Global Ministerial Summit on Patient Safety. This charter was developed within the framework of World Patient Safety Day 2023 under the theme of Engaging Patients for Patient Safety. It will provide healthcare workers, leaders and governments with tools to build the patient-centered healthcare system, improving the patient safety and reducing the risk of harm. India has signed GPA Action Plan 2021 to 2030. The patient safety is a framework of organized activities that creates a cultures, procedures in healthy system which promotes the minimize the risk of harm to the patients. University of Washington is assessing the efficacy of a geoengineering method under the Marine Cloud Brightening MCB program. See, this MCB program seeks to increase the number of cloud condensation nuclei in the low marine clouds, and this geoengineering refers to the set of emerging technologies that could manipulate the environment and partially offset the some of the impacts of climate change. Next, the IUCN has released the report called Towards a Regenerative Blue Economy and Mapping the Blue Economy. See, this report proposes a clear definition and founding principles for a regenerative blue economy. IUCN has developed a framework for defining 3 types of blue economy with RVE at highest sustainability level. This regenerative blue economy is an economic model. It is an economic model that combines the effective regeneration and protection of the ocean and marine and coastal. the ecosystem with sustainable, low or no carbon economic activities and a fair prosperity now and in the future. Bhutan, along with Tiger Conservation Coalition, hosted the Sustainable Finance for Tiger Landscapes Conference. This conference is attended by the Bangladesh, Bhutan, Cambodia, China, India, Kazakhstan, Malaysia, Nepal, Thailand, Vietnam. This conference aims to develop a new financial mechanism for tiger conservation and link tiger conservation to global biodiversity. Link the tiger conservation to global biodiversity and climate agendas. And it also involves the indigenous peoples and local communities. We'll see the outcomes of this conference. Emblematic species of Asia, a revered culture and spiritual symbol, and it's committed to the catalyzing of US $1 billion in addition to funding for tiger conservation by 2034. And the UNDP with the Tiger Landscape Investment Fund and the Asian Development Bank proposed the Tiger Bond and emphasizing on securing the 63 vital tiger landscapes for long-term tiger recovery. Recently, FSSAI increased the maximum residue limit MRL of pesticides in herbs and species. The latest order from Food Safety Standards Authority of India has increased the MRL pesticides from 0.01 milligram to 0.1 milligram per kg. Next we'll see Crystal Maze 2. The Indian Air Force has successfully tested a new version of medium range ballistic missile known as Crystal Maze 2. It is a medium range ballistic missile developed by the Israel and its strike range of 250 km and it is a air to surface type missile and it is aimed to design to strike the high value stationary and relocated targets in GPS denied environments. Missile can target the long range radar and air defense system. Next we'll see Trade Organization. World Trade Organization WTO is celebrating the 30 years of the Marrakesh Agreement. This Marrakesh Agreement is signed in Marrakesh, Morocco by 123 countries in 1994 after the conclusion of Uruguay round. Okay, it is led to the establishment of WTO in 1995, replacing the General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade. It is replacing the GATT as an international organization. WTO established in 1995. We'll see this. What is this Marrakesh Agreement? It serves as a basic framework for trade relation among the all WTO members, and it expanded the scope beyond the trade in goods, in trade serves, intellectual property and other topics. And in the modern multilateral trading system, and it's established the modern multilateral trading system, facilitating the negotiation, dispute settlement and economic cooperation among the members. And it also created the WTO governance, establishing the Ministerial Conference, highest decision body making it is, and General Council and specialized councils. Next we'll see the UNESCO released the 2024 Gender Report of the Global Education Monitoring the Report titled Technology on Her Terms. See, this report looks at the impact of technology on girls' education, opportunities and outcomes, and the role of education in shaping the future technological development. Next we'll see RBI sets the eligibility criteria for SFB to transition into the universal banking under the on-tap licensing. See, these universal banks are the banks that offer wide range of financial service beyond the commercial banking and investment banking such as insurance. We'll see the eligibility. Net worth. See, the SFB must have a minimal net worth of Rs 1000 crores, and SFBs must be scheduled banks. It should be a scheduled banks with a satisfactory track record of performance for the minimum of 5 years, and should have a net profit in the last 2 financial years, and you should have the asset quality of gross non-performing assets, and net NPA must be less than or equal to 3% and 1% respectively over the last 2 financial years. And shares must be listed on a recognized stock exchange. In this, share must be listed in the recognized stock exchange. And promoter requirement is no addition or of new promoters. There is no addition of new promoters or changes to existing promoters are permitted during this transition. This is the eligibility criteria for SFB to transition to universal banking under the on-tap license. Next we'll see Defense Secretary participated in Shanghai Cooperation Organization SCO Defense Ministers meeting. It is a joint communique was issued in which the SCO Defense Minister agreed to the develop idea of one earth, one family, one future. They agreed to develop the one earth, one family and one future. It is rooted in the ancient Indian philosophy Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The world is the one family. The world is one family. It is mentioned in the Maha Upanishad. Next we'll see realistic representation of the birth matrix. The scientists study the INCOIS, the Indian National Center for Ocean Information Service, showed the realistic representation of bathymetry led to improve the surface current simulations. They have improved the surface current simulation. This bathymetry is a technique dedicated to mapping and depth of water bodies such as rivers, seas and oceans. And it also includes the identifying underwater relief such as sea mounts, mountain range, valleys, etc. And it creating the three-dimensional maps of the seafloor. It creating the three-dimensional maps for seafloor.